What is up, everybody? This is Yoko Zero coming to you live with another tutorial against Kan-Ra this time. We all know how annoying it is to fight against this guy with his scarabs, his running away, his crazy setups. So today what I'm going to be teaching you guys is pretty much how to approach the matchup, how to get rid of scarabs, the strategy you use against Kan-Ra, avoiding his sacrifice, and stopping his wake up options will be a bonus at the end of this video. I will also mention the various patch ups that they're going to be doing with this coming up with the Asako and everything, so I'll try to put that in there for you guys. But without any further ado, let's get started. The way you approach this matchup in the beginning of the match is kind of like treated like Sadira. You want to run in, and if you can time his jump, go in with a light kick, a jumping light kick, or maybe even the tail, sometimes even jumping heavy punch, because his jump is very easy to gauge. If he stays on the ground, which most higher level Kan-Ras do, you want to go for a trip up like you just saw. Since it's 2 hits and a fast recovery, you can actually grab out of that if he were to block it. So it's actually a pretty good maneuver. Just make sure you catch his jump if he does. If he doesn't, go for the ground pressure. But next up, once you do that, keep up the pressure like you're seeing here. Make sure Kan-Ra does not throw down any sand, because if he does, it's going to be a nightmare for Riptor. And we all know we don't want Riptor getting caught up like back then against Glacius. Very terrible stuff. But let's move on. Alright, so that was the approaching the matchup with Kan-Ra and the pressure with Kan-Ra. Now we're going to talk about getting rid of scarabs. There's various ways to get rid of scarabs against Kan-Ra, and it's actually pretty good with Riptor. She has a lot of moves that will move her forward through them, like for instance her tail. You can actually go in deep and use her tail to get him. Especially with Talon Rake from afar, it'll push you right in his face, or if he's in the corner, you can actually hit him with Talon Rake and do your mix-ups as well. And a Kan-Ra without sand doing that is very easy prey for Riptor. So I say utilize that, and also the fire up close, and the running flame can eat right through scarabs very easily. So utilize that as well. It's a very good tool if you can catch him using it, especially when he first throws it out there. The shadow moves that are able to go through it is Shadow Talon Rake. You can use Shadow Clever Girl as well if you're right in his face, like say they're frame trapping you with the standing heavy or the standing medium into scarabs. That will eat right through it, and it's easy to gauge. The crouching tail also goes through it, but it's better when in instinct to use your tail moves on the ground like that. It'll go straight through it and get Kan-Ra without little to any problem. If they want to turtle in the corner and use scarabs all day, that is the best way to do it as well. So now moving on, we're gonna talk about avoiding his sacrifice. We all hate this move, especially when you have pressure on Kan-Ra. It's very difficult to continue your pressure. So what I'm gonna tell you is a good setup to avoid his sacrifice, and if he doesn't use sacrifice, you're able to actually block it. I mean, Kan-Ra's actually able to block your tail, and you can start a mix up from there. You can start your headbutt pressure and all that with little to no consequence. So here's the setup here. Time it correctly. As soon as you go for a hard knockdown, preferably the tail flip ender, you're gonna tap light punch twice, back up a step, and then use far standing tail. As you can see, it will hit Kan-Ra if he doesn't have sand and he doesn't block. If he has sand and uses sacrifice, you don't get hit. The hitbox does not hit you, and you're able to run the other way to catch him if he's on the other side of the screen. You have enough time to react. And if he blocks it, like you see here, you can go straight into the headbutt mix-up pressure. And thanks to the new patch coming in for Kan-Ra, you'll have all day to punish him for it. So this is a very good setup, since they didn't change his hitbox for his sacrifice, and his recovery is much longer. You have all day to punish him for it. So bait it out by doing that. It's a very good tool. Now we're going to talk about the bonus part, how to stop his wake ups. Just like all characters, Riptor has the tools to stop pretty much everybody's wake up, and even shadow moves. And the basic setup is here. After a hard knockdown, you'd either want to set down a flame carpet and go into headbutt, or you can do it this way, just like the tail with the sacrifice. Do the same thing with this, except without the backing up. So here we go. And then there's also the tail version there. So I'm going to start up being Kan-Ra. And watch his shadow meter. You'll see how this setup actually takes it away. Like you see there. I will be using all of his shadow moves in this sequence here. And using every kind of setup that I know with Riptor to stop them. And this was his shadow command grab there. But this is very good to keep up your pressure with, because most Kan-Ras will actually go for the shadow tornado spin, and it will actually stop that as well. But that's the end of this tutorial, guys. My name is YokoZero. Feel free to add me on Xbox Live. Like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll be coming out with another video shortly. You guys take it easy.